Good morning, students. Welcome to my class. Today I am going to start a new chapter, Introduction to Coordinate Geometry from class 8 Mathematics. Now, graphical representation of various kinds of data is already done by you in the previous classes, like bar graph or histogram. So this is also a kind of graphical representation. Here in graph paper, we have to locate a point using two numbers that they are known as the coordinates. First of all, let me introduce the graph paper where we are going to do these sums. Suppose this is a graph paper where I have drawn two mutually perpendicular lines. The horizontal line x o x dash is known as the x-axis, and the vertical line y o y dash is known as the y-axis, and these two x's are together known as coordinate x's. The point of intersection of these two coordinate axes is known as the origin, and it is represented by O or denoted by O. The plane where these two axes are drawn, that plane is known as the Cartesian plane. We have to start from the origin. Whenever we are going to locate a particular point, we have to start from the origin always. First, we have to move along the x-axis, either to the right of y-axis or to the left of y-axis. First, we have to move along this x-axis, and then we have to move along the y-axis. If it is a case of positive value of x, then we have to move towards the right on the x-axis, and if it is a negative value of x, then we have to move along the x-axis to the left. Similarly, if it is a case of positive value of y, then we have to move above the x-axis, and if it is a case of negative value of y, then we have to move below the x-axis along the y-axis. Understood? Therefore, every point which is taken to the right of y-axis is a positive integer, and if it is taken to the left of y-axis, it is taken as negative integer for x. Similarly, if any point is represented above the x-axis, then it is taken as positive integer for y, and if it is taken below the x-axis, then it is taken as negative integer for y. Understood? Now the coordinate axes, that is x o x dash and y o y dash, is dividing the whole Cartesian plane into four regions. This is known as the first region, and each region is known as the quadrant. This is known as quadrant 1, quadrant 1, this is quadrant 2, this is quadrant 3, and this is quadrant 4. Means we have to move in the anti-clockwise sense. This is quadrant 1, this is quadrant 2, this is quadrant 3, and this is quadrant 4. Any point, if it is given on the graph, suppose I have given a point P, and it is represented by two numerical values beside P. these numerical values are known as the coordinates. This is the x coordinate and this is y coordinate, and they together known as ordered pair. Ordered pair means this A and B will always come in a proper sequence. It is not that we can also take P as, we cannot take P as B A. This is wrong, because AB is not same as B comma A. That is why it is known as ordered pair. For example, if I give you a point 2, 3 to represent here. So if 3 represent this point, then 3, 2 will not represent this point. 3, 2 will represent some other point. Maybe here, somewhere here. Okay? These 2 points are not equal. Understood? They are not same. Now, let us take a point 3, 4. So what we have to do? We have been asked to represent the point 3, 4 on the graph paper. So as I have told you, we have to move along the x-axis first and then y-axis. The point 3, 4, suppose this is the point 3, 4 given to us, and these 3 represent the numerical value of x coordinate and 4 represent the numerical value of y coordinate. So first of all, we have to move along the x-axis 3 units, and since 3 is positive here, then we have to move towards the right 3 units. Now let me mark this as 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This side also. Since you are marking the left hand side of x-axis, then it will be marked as negative. So -1, -2, -3, and this one is -4, this point. Now we have to mark the y-axis also. So since we are going above the x-axis, then this marking will be positive. The value of y coordinate will be positive above the x-axis, and below the x-axis it will be negative. So -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and so on. Now I have to mark the point 3, 4 on the graph paper. So since it is positive, then we have to move 3 units towards the right. Here is the point. This is 3 units. Okay, and then we have to move 4 units above the x-axis. So from here where we have end, from here we have to move 4 units above, maybe somewhere here. So this is 3 unit, and this one is 4 units. 4 units above x-axis and 3 units to the right of y-axis. These point P represent 3, 4. Understood? So whenever we are going to plot a point on the graph paper, always remember to look at the sign. If it is positive, then we have to move to the right of x-axis if it is positive x, and if the value of x is negative, then we have to move towards the left of y-axis along the x-axis. Okay, this is known as the negative side of the x-axis, and this is the positive side of x-axis. Similarly, if we have to take a point, positive point of positive value of y, then we have to move above along the y-axis. This side is known as the positive side of y-axis, and this is known as the negative side of y-axis. So here you can see the distance of the point. This point is 3 units from y-axis, 3 units. This is 3 unit. So abscissa, this first value is known as the abscissa, and it is written as abscissa. Abscissa equals to 3. Got it? The distance of the point from the y-axis is known as abscissa. For this point, abscissa is 3. Similarly, the distance of the point from the x-axis, this is how much? This is 4 units. You can see this is 4 units. So distance of the point from x-axis is 4 unit. This is 4 unit. So this is known as ordinate. And ordinate is 4. And these 2 points together known as coordinates of P. Means a coordinate consists of 2 numerical values. The first one is abscissa and the second one is ordinate. And remember, they are always written in the same order. Not like that, or we can write anything, either abscissa or ordinate first and then the second one. No, always write the abscissa first and the ordinate next. Now take another point. Let us take minus 4, 2. The point is minus 4, 2. So what we have to do? First we have to locate minus 4, then go to 2, positive value of 2. Now since the value of x coordinate, that is abscissa, is minus, then we have to move towards left. From the origin we have to move 4 units here at minus 4. See, minus 4. And from here we have to move 2 units. 2 units, since it is positive, then we have to move above. 2 units above the x-axis. So it is somewhere here. Let the point be Q. So it is minus 4, 2. Therefore, since the point is minus 4, 2, abscissa is minus 4, we are moving 4 units towards left at minus 4, and then ordinate is plus 2, so we are moving 2 units above the x-axis because of positive sign. So here is the point Q, minus 4, 2. Now take one more point, minus 3, minus 2. Both are minus, negative sign. So minus 3, minus 2. Let the point is minus 3, minus 2. Now, how to look at this point? So first we have to move 3 units towards the left on the x-axis because it is minus sign. So 3 units to the left of x-axis here. And then minus 2 means this time we have to move down because the sign is negative. 2 units down. So from here, from minus 3, we have to move 2 units down somewhere here. So this is, let the point be R, and this is written as minus 3, minus 2. Understood? Now take one more point. Let us take 3, minus 5. 3, minus 5. So since the point is 3, minus 5, then first of all we have to move 3 units to the right on the x-axis. Right on the x-axis means right of y-axis. So 3 units here. And then it is minus 5 means we have to move 5 units down below the x-axis. Okay, 5 units. So from here 3 and then minus 5. Let us represent this point as S3 minus 5. Hope you are understanding all this. Therefore, if any point is given to us to locate on the graph paper, we have to check the sign first. If the value of x is positive, then we have to move towards the right, and if the value of x is negative, then we have to move towards the left. Similarly, if the value of y, that is ordinate, is positive, then we have to move above from the x-axis above, and if the value of y, that is ordinate, is negative, then we have to move below the x-axis. Got it? Therefore, from all these 4 points, what we have observed, that any point on the first quadrant is taken as positive, means both the abscissa and ordinate have positive sign. Similarly, any point on the second quadrant is taken as minus plus, that is the abscissa is minus and negative, and the ordinate is positive. If any point is to be located in the third quadrant, then it is in the form minus minus, that is both abscissa and ordinate are negative, and in the fourth quadrant it is positive negative, that is the abscissa is positive and ordinate is negative. Understood? Now the question will come, a point will be given to you and you have to answer in which quadrant the point will lie. In that case, you don't have to draw coordinate axis on the graph paper and locate the point and then tell the answer. Simply by checking the sign, you can say on which quadrant, in which quadrant the point will lie. If both are positive, means it will lie in the first quadrant. If the abscissa is negative and ordinate is positive, means it will lie in the second quadrant. If both are negative, both abscissa and ordinate are negative, it will lie in the third quadrant. And if the abscissa is positive and ordinate is negative, then it will lie in the fourth quadrant. Understood? Now, if any point is written in the form, suppose A0 means the abscissa has a numerical value A can be any value, any numerical value, and the ordinate is 0. In that case, this point will not lie in any quadrant. Why? Let me explain. Let the point be 4, 0. That means the abscissa is 4 and the ordinate is 0. So first we have to move 4 units to the right on the x-axis here, and then the ordinate is 0, means we cannot move above or below because the value is 0. Now since the ordinate is 0, we have to be on this point. We have to stick to this point. Got it? So this point represent 4, 0. Understood? Since the ordinate is 0, then we cannot move up or down. that is we cannot move above x-axis or below x-axis. Now if any point is in the form, suppose it is minus 2 0, then where will the point lie? Minus 2 here and 0. This is minus 2 0. So any point which is represented in the form of a0, that is abscissa has a numerical value a, it can be positive or negative, and ordinate is 0, then the point will lie on the coordinate x-axis. Understood? If it is a positive abscissa, then it will lie on the positive side of x-axis, and if it is negative abscissa like this one, then it will lie on the negative side of x-axis. Similarly, if any point is written in the form 0 3, that is, or this time the abscissa is 0 and ordinate is 3. So since we are starting from the origin, abscissa is 0, we cannot move to the right or left because abscissa is 0. So we have to stick to this point here. And then ordinate is 3. So since ordinate is positive, we have to move up here. So this is the point 0 3. Similarly, if the point is 0 minus 4, then from here we have to go 0 and then minus 4. This is 0 minus 4. Understood? I hope you have understood the whole thing. In next class, I will give you some point to plot on the graph paper, and I will show you at the same time how to plot those points. Okay? Till then, bye. Have a nice day.